They were told the paint was safe. They were told it was harmless. They were told to shape the brush with their lips, and every time they did, a little of that glow went down with it. Slowly, silently, it ate them from the inside. In the 1910s and 1920s, hundreds of young women took jobs in factories painting watch and clock dials with a luminous powder made from radium. The work looked clean, modern, and respectable. The pay was good for the time. Many of the girls were teenagers, supporting families or saving for a future none of them would see. The paint was powdered radium, mixed into a phosphor so the numbers would shine in the dark. The managers and chemists handled it behind shields and with tongs. The workers were handed tiny brushes and the instruction: lip, dip, paint. At first, there were no obvious signs of danger. Then the symptoms began and kept getting worse. It started with toothaches and loose teeth. Then the gums rotted, jaws swelled and fractured without obvious cause. Doctors were baffled until pathologists realized what the X-rays and exhumations showed. Radium acts like calcium, migrates to bone, and keeps irradiating tissue for years. Bones literally glowed. Bone marrow failed. Women developed violent anemia, fractures, and tumors that ate through flesh and bone. They called it radium jaw. The pain was long and brutal. Companies that made the paint denied responsibility. They blamed illness on syphilis or poor hygiene. They delayed tests, lost records, and fought investigations. Internally, some scientists knew the risks. Publicly, executives kept selling the miracle of glowing watches and even marketed radium in health products. The contrast was ugly: safety for the men in the labs, secrecy and cheap labor for the dial painters. The fight for truth came through a handful of brave women. Grace Fryer and 4 others sued the United States Radium Corporation in 1927. By then, many plaintiffs were already gravely ill. The trial forced papers, testimony, and grim proof into the open. Bodies exhumed for study still emitted radiation. The settlement in 1928 finally gave money and annuities, but it came far too late for most of those who had been poisoned. Their suffering changed the rules. The Radium Girls pushed public outrage, new medical studies, and the first serious workplace safeguards around radioactive materials. They helped usher in laws and standards that recognize long-term exposure, require monitoring, and demand employer accountability. What those women went through is part of why modern occupational safety exists. This is not some cautionary tale about a single mistake. It is a story about profit prioritized over people, about science without ethics, and about the human cost when employers treat workers as disposable. The glow that once sold wristwatches was paid for with ruined bodies and lives cut short. If you want more real, hard stories of dark science and unethical experiments, subscribe to Vivarium, like this video, and follow the channel now.